This is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get right into it today because we are joined by the one, the only Dita Von Teese.
Hi.
Hello, how are you today? Welcome.
I'm good. Thank you.
I mean, it's such a perfect time for us to talk. You're in between your residency in Vegas, Dita Las Vegas at Jubilant Review. Talk to me. I've actually had the pleasure of seeing you before. I saw you. I split my time between LA and New York. Saw you at Radio City Music Hall. I remember we were talking about Prince at backstage after at the meet and greet. I don't know
Oh
how
my
we
God.
got into Prince, but I've seen your show. So
Thank you. Probably, it was probably the Beacon Theater,
it
right?
was the Beacon Theater. Yes, you're right. See,
They won't let me in Radio City Music Hall. I'm not tall enough.
that is true. It is the Beacon Theater. You're like, see, it all blends together for
Another
me.
gorgeous, fabulous theater.
And they like kind of look the same inside
Yeah, right. They're those
ish.
historic theaters. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I've seen your show, but like, tell everyone who's listening who hasn't come to a Dita show, like, if they want to come to Vegas or they're in Vegas and they want to check out Dita Las Vegas, like, what can they expect?
Yeah, well, there's definitely no other show like it in Vegas. I know everybody says that, but this is true. I've been touring with my burlesque show in these big historic theaters for quite some time now, but this Vegas show takes it even, oh, there's going to be a lot of
We've
cats
had many cats and dogs on this show,
like
so
that.
feel free.
Yes, there's a few of them there, and they're all shoulder cats, as you could see that one. Anyway, so this show in Vegas just takes it to the next level. And the thing that's different about this show as opposed to my touring show is that I'm in this historic Jubilee Theater, I don't know if you ever saw Jubilee, but it was the last big showgirl review. It ran for 40 years. All of the costumes are these extravagant showgirl costumes like what you see in the movies, created by Bob Mackie and Pete Menefee. And it's one of the biggest stages. It's half the size of a football field. It has all of these hallmarks of the old like showgirl review with like the discs coming out of the ceiling with girls on them and the things coming out of the stages coming out of the floor. It's like really extravagant and decadent, and it's a bit of a time capsule theater. It was also where the Rat Pack played, so you have that big red leather banquette experience. And I went in, I was offered to do my show in Las Vegas by Caesars Entertainment and Live Nation. And they offered me this iconic theater, and I loved Jubilee. So I was like really excited about it. And I went into the room and I was like, this room is huge. The stage is huge. And I said, where's all of the costumes from Jubilee? Because I don't know if I can, I'd love to have like some vintage showgirl Las Vegas moments in this show in a new way. And they said, oh, they're just locked up downstairs, archived. And I said, well, can I use it? I just asked. And they said yes. And so I can't really express it's hard to explain how extravagant these costumes are, but it's there'll never be another time in show business where they will spend this much money on the extravagant showgirl costuming, and it's very exciting to have it live on again on the stage. And so it's kind of a hybrid of my show and what I stand for, which is, I have just as many show boys in the show as girls, an equal amount of show boys and show girls of different types, and all wearing these showgirl costumes, which were normally reserved just for women to wear. But we have a very decadent show, which is a hybrid of my show and the classic Las Vegas show. So I'm really excited because you see some of the shows try to have a showgirl moment, but like nobody can have a showgirl like moment like this in their show, because there's literally like $12 million worth of rhinestones and feathers in this show.
Wow, I
Yeah,
love that.
just the costuming.
That's amazing. What do you love best about performing live?
What do I love best? I mean, I like the energy. I like knowing that whenever I'm doing my show, there's no other show like it in the world. There isn't there. And I know that I'm presenting something totally different than what people are used to seeing, you know, especially in this day and age when it's like, you know, you know, burlesque was kind of a forgotten thing, or even like when I was offered a burlesque show in Las Vegas, people, you know, casinos and club owners would say, oh yeah, we have this like lounge room, you can put your martini glass over in the corner. And I'm like, I just did the Chicago theater for 4,000 people, and the Beacon Theater and the Orpheum and the London Palladium. Like you know, it took the powers that be to actually come out and see my show, to see that it belonged on a big stage, and that it's not just like a typical burlesque show, like in a lounge or a bar or like a Pussycat Dolls thing. It's much more elaborate. And so I think I love the idea of changing people's minds about what a burlesque show is, you know, and now changing people's minds about what a Vegas Showgirl review is, because it has my stamp on it, and it's a hybrid of classic Las Vegas combined with what I've been doing for the last 25 years.
Do you feel more pressure? Because I've talked to other people that have, you know, toured and then done residencies in Vegas. Like, do you feel more pressure to like quote unquote fill a room in Vegas, or is that not necessarily a thing?
I mean, we've been filling the room. I think, yeah, the pressure for me mostly has come from kind of like, is Vegas ready for this? Is this too like, is it too, I don't want to, you know, like a lot of the sexy Vegas shows are a little like not what I do. And like, are people ready for this? Can they handle it? Is it too much for them? Is it too, you know, like even, you know, some people were like offended by like guys wearing feather headdresses. And I was like, why? You know, like that wouldn't happen. That doesn't happen like in my world, but maybe in Vegas world, they're like, oh my God, we can't have men wearing feathers and rhinestones. And I'm like, why? They're like super like, you know, they're hot and they're secure in their masculinity, and they're wearing those feathers like, you know, in a powerful way. And I wasn't, I think that's one of the things that I wasn't really ready for. It's like, oh wow, I didn't realize like this is different for Vegas even.
That's a really good point. Or like, have you seen a Dita Von Teese show, people?
Yeah, like some, you know, it's not, yeah. I think some people are, we were up during the National Rodeo, and like on our LED marquee, there's video of me like riding the pink rhinestone bull. And I was walking through the casino one day when I first was getting to Vegas, and I'm kind of like walking by the front, and I see all these big hat cowboys like looking at it like this, going, when does this show open? I was like, oh, they're not ready. They're not ready. But they loved it. I heard from my friends in the